Hello, screenwriters, and welcome to Writing for Screens, the screenwriting step-by-step project, episode 162, chapter 162, volume 162. My name is Glenn Gers, and I come to you every Monday. I come to you on every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, if I can make it, to let you share my screen, look over my shoulder as I write a script. And I do this in order to teach a part of screenwriting that seems to me underrepresented in the teaching screenwriting universe, which is the process, the actual day-to-day, scene by scene, line by line, making a script. Doesn't matter what kind of script it is, this is about the process. I chose a script that I wanted to write. I am letting you watch me because it might help you when you are facing the blank page to have seen me walk through it every single step of the way. You do not have to watch every single step of the way. Any little bit you get might give you a little trick or a tool that you can use for yourself. That's the whole point. It's not like this is the best way to do it. It's not like it's the only way to do it. It's how I worked out for myself in the days before having a lot of screenwriting teachers in the world, during my 25-year career writing for TV and movies. And now I am letting you watch because it seems like a nice thing to do. It seems like it would be a waste not to take this knowledge and put it out where it might be useful to some folks. Like Javier. Hello, Javier. Put the fun in Friday. Put the fries in Friday. Put the... yeah, I'm doing stuff. I'm here. I'm making random statements because the real thing that I need to do here is start writing, which we're going to do a new scene. We finished after like a week on scene 3, rewriting it. I am going to start scene 4, which is a whole other can of worms because I have to basically write it again from scratch. Hey, Natasha, how you doing? So glad to see you here. Let's get to work. So here's the deal. Yesterday, and when I say finished scene 3, I meant finished that pass. Because, as I have tried to show you, usually the best thing to do is to just go over it and over it. Sometimes you work on a little bit on this area, and then you move on, and then you go back. As I will say in a video I'm working on, writing is not a line. It's not a progress in a line. It's not even like a staircase or something. It's actually a spiral. That's the shape of writing. The writing is that you do something and then you come around back to it and you come around back to it. And every time you come around back to it, you close in on the version that you want to make. And it takes a lot of circles going around, trying it over and over again, getting a little bit better every time because that's the point. Small steps, a little bit better. Yes. Thank you, Javier. That is nice. Typos are my middle name, in case you have not noticed already. I am Mr. Typo. Hello, this is Kitschy. Hello, Rachel. Everybody's showing up for the Friday show. Okay, so let us get out of this scene. Oh, this scene. Well, so when I said scene 4, what I actually thought I was getting to was the scene where, which is actually like way down here. Whoa, look at this. There's scenes galore before. I thought we were going right to the typewriter shop, but we're not. We're going to Madeline and Zena on the phone, and that is interesting. That is something that we can do. Okay. Here's an interesting thing. So looking at this scene, realizing what we have to do is we meet Zena. Now here's the thing. Do I want to say wannabe? I kind of do. Or do I wannabe is mean? Aspiring. Aspiring influencer. That's better. 23. Years old is not necessary, so let's cut it. 23. Okay, now here's the thing. I go on doing this joke, this little stage direction joke for way too look. Okay. This is a little too much, I think. Hey, Green Psycho Babe. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. We are rewriting this scene and basically this joke. And I think what I'm going to do that in the living room of the luxurious Southern California house, not house in Southern California, because that is just an extra phrase. There we go. She grew up in the living room of the luxurious Southern California house she grew up in, out of which she has not yet managed to move. Yes, out of which she has not yet managed to move. That is the proper grammar. This is just too much. There we go. Thumper, meet. Does that make me the Wile E. Coyote? Good to see you. Hello, Martletoso. I finished all my work-related issues. Yes, that is fabulous. Enjoy your weekend. Do not overwrite. Sometimes we say, oh my God, I got a weekend. I got to write 12 hours a day. And by the way, if you can write 12 hours a day, wow, sure, go ahead. Most of us can't. I can't. But having the mental space, that is a beautiful thing, and I'm very glad that you are. Okay. So we meet Zena Morano, which is fun because we've seen her name now a couple times. Here's the thing that I was just mulling over. I was mulling this. This ends with her wiping out the notifications, but in fact, in about a few lines, she's going to call back. So I'm not sure. I don't think that is right. I think I'm going to put that here. Get rid of that, clears them all. All right. Howdy, Sarah. 12 hours a day, that's madness. That's insanity. I was saying it as an impossible thing. Okay, so by the way, I've got elms going out here. Okay, there, let's just... Look at that. We're cutting. We are cutting things. Cutting is good. Cutting is clarifying. Cutting is finding the one thing you need to say. All right. And we're going to do colon because we can. Because it's not a dash. It's not a pum. It's a this follows this. This is an explanation. This stuff is an explanation of this. So that's what the colon means. The colon means I'm about to give you more information on that topic. For those of you who wanted a punctuation lesson. All right, so. Now this is redundant to this. And this is action and dialogue which the audience can understand. So therefore, there we go. Therefore, we choose the action. We choose the character doing something to the me describing it. That is always the choice. Yes, X-Men, the mutant writer. So let's see. As she thinks. As she works the problem, Xena's mom walks past. Walks past. Comes through. Is made over. That's not my favorite phrase, but... I think she just calls her Z. Z, fish. What do you think about fish? What do you think about just sounds wrong? Fish for Z. Fish for dinner? Okay, so here now we have works the problem and working her phone. Should this be a type of food or a place? Are they going out? Are they having takeout? Sure, I use exclamation points. Let's see. Let's see how many I've used in this script. Oh, it doesn't say. Interesting. I think it's just too short. Okay. Here's exclamation. Look at that. There's exclamation right there. I almost never put exclamation points in my stage directions, but I wouldn't rule it out. The question was, do I ever use an exclamation point? And we have right here on this page, many of them. Look at that. However, like I said, I would it would have to be very ironic that I would put like an exclamation point in the stage directions. Does that help you? Okay, do you really do that? Do you really work 12 hours at a time? That would explain a lot, actually. That would explain how you're so freaking productive. Okay. Which, by the way, I applaud, as long as you're being healthy about it. All right, so this is... What I want to imply here Yeah, 3 to 4 hours a day max. Sometimes in the after the work session of 3 to 4 hours a day, like in the afternoon after some lunch, I will do some other kind of work like research or I don't know, sorting through notes and ideas or something that's not actually like writing a project. Usually that's like if I'm writing one, I might outline another in the afternoon, sort of more casually. Can't usually do the same project. I can't write all day. That is my take on the how much to work. Oh my God, you don't know. Do I need to say in Pennsylvania? I don't think I do. So I'm taking that out. A friend of mine just died. I'm going there. I'm going there. Right. Shut up. Let's see. Yeah, this doesn't seem. I mean, I can fix it later, but airline reservations. This is one of those things. Like, I know when I say starts to work her phone, I know what she's doing, but I think it's not a bad idea to actually say what it is. Yeah, making airline reservations as her mom. I should, yeah. Okay, I won't be here. A friend of mine just died. I'm going there. I won't be here. A friend of mine, I'm going. Oh my God, you don't know him. I know what it is. Here, watch this. There we go. Shut up. There. You don't know him. Shut up. I like that. Shut up. That says a lot. Okay. I won't be here. A friend of mine, I'm going. Oh my God. You don't know him. Shut up. Madeline. Bookie. That's not right, but it. Joyous. There we go. Okay, Natasha is telling us some days, yes, I'm not shooting photography or other errands. God damn. Of course, I give myself a break to walk dogs, but most of my day is writing. Okay, you are making me look bad, Natasha. You have to stop. I don't work as much as Natasha. Natasha works way hard. Okay. Let's see where we are here. Cool. Oh, sorry, I got something on my eye. An eyelash. Okay. So INTERCUT. Oh, Natasha, you were asking about INTERCUT. Look at this. Yesterday you asked about INTERCUT. Today I demonstrate it. Here's the deal. I am going to do a scene now, which is intercutting, cutting between Zena's house and George's house. So rather than for every, like, in theory, every line we're cutting back and forth between the two houses. However, in order to not put a slug line in between every single one of these lines, I just write intercut here, and then I know that it is between this scene, Zena's house, is intercut with George's house the same time, I point out. And now I can just write it, and whoever I end on, that's which location I'm ending on. Okay, so now this is way too long. It's a conversation, so let's see what we can do. Hi. Hi? That's good. I am so sorry. I can't imagine what you're feeling. He was such a beautiful soul. What are the police doing? Who are you? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Of course. Of course. My name is Zena Moran. I was a friend of George's. How do you know my number? I know your name, of course, from George. So I searched for all the Madeline Morrisons, and I broke that down by age. Then there weren't that many. And then I started to look for images because he has this picture of you on his bookshelf. Madeline looks around. There is a faded old frame photo of George and Madeline in the East Village, New York. Back in their musician days together. And there's software you can use that software that you can use. Duh. What else are you going to do with it? Software that can age or de-age photos. I could have said there's software you can use to age or de-age photos. Software, yeah, actually, you can use, Z. You can use to age or de-age photos. There's a software that can, it's better, that can age or because I'm going to use right here. They use it. See what I'm talking about? That's what you watch out for. Like use. It's no good. It's no good to use the same word, especially in different parts of the sentence for different purposes. There's a software that can age or de-age photos. They use it for victim profiling and missing persons. So I ran some of the photos of different people named Madeline Morrison. There are about 7 possible. And then I found a shot of you on your corporate website, on your corporate website, because you were at a fundraising picnic. It is you, right? You're George's wife? Ex-wife. How are you? Are you okay? So this is good because this is absolutely telling us some things about Zena. I like this bit. Is that the question of how do you know the number? And she tells every step of her elaborate web sleuthing process, and then she goes right to, I don't know. How are you? Are you okay? I don't know. Honesty. How did you know George? Corkboard, yarn, and pins. Keep wondering about that name. Corkboard, yarn, and pins. I'm wondering about I'm just thinking like corkboard and yarn. No. Corkboard, yarn, and pins. That's right. I thought maybe the police or something. Is the name of the web sleuthing group that George and I were both in. Is the name of a web sleuthing group that George and I were both in the Crime Cracker forums. This helps because my characters are doing two different things in two separate places across the globe at the same time. Yeah, if they're doing separate things, if they're not communicating, you probably, unless it's like just teeny tiny things, but even then, if it's just one line, I would still do the slug lines to intercut. I don't know how many back and forths you're doing, but if it's really just like, I'm going here, I'm going there, you're intercutting, I would not use intercut. Intercut suggests one scene in two places, but what you're talking about is actually a rhythm of things between two places, unless, like I said yesterday, it's a montage. A montage is a single scene made of lots of different scenes. Hi, Matthew. I don't know that would be my character's doing two different things in two separate places. That doesn't sound like an intercut. It sounds like you would want to say like what person A is doing, then slug line Paris, person B is doing, slug line New York, person A. See what I'm saying? That's my personal guess on how that should go. Corkway is in a web sleuthing group. George and I were both in. We're in. In the Crime Cracker forums. See, basically I'm making the same joke here, and the thing is, now that Madeline has heard about Crime Crackers from the cop, Crime Crackers. Crime Crackers. See, I'm just hammering home the title of the series here. It's a community of home-based non-professionals who meet online to solve. There we go. No, montages do not always have music. Sometimes they do. Often they do. But you could have a montage that has just sound, just like the sound of the experiences that are happening. Montages, the reason that montages often have music is because that allows it creates the continuity between the different things that is that informs the audience subconsciously. This is a unified single scene. The music is holding it together. But you could do a montage with just like wind, like if it's like a desolate scene and you're seeing like all this stuff or all happening while these people are like dying of cold. You could do a montage with just the whistling wind, and that would work. In general, you mostly do have some kind of unifying thing to a montage, something that lets us know it's sometimes it's the way that the edits are done with dissolves or something. Sometimes it's some visual connection. Sometimes it's audio. But you don't have to have. It's not an always. It's a can and usually does. Yeah, you look it over, see which is saying what you want to say. Are you trying to say it's one scene, in which case it's intercut? If you're trying to say it's a montage or a rhythm, then you might not. What's the show again? This show is called Crime Crackers. That's the actual... Here, let's do this. I will show you the title page. Boom. And that is the title page. And now I'm having them say it a lot, which is... In fact, Crime Crackers. Yeah. It's a community of home-based non-professional detectives who meet online to solve cold cases. Let's just leave it at that. The truth is they often, some of these web sleuthing communities, I did a little bit of research, and a lot of them are like saying, we're going to do this because in our neighborhood, there's a crime that has not been taken seriously. However, too much information right now. I think you might have known George better than I did then. Better than me then. I think you might have George known better than me than I did. Just work together. We just work together. Yeah, there we go. On cases. Work together on cases. But I love George. He was a doll. Okay, here is where ideally the scene is not going great. And I think it's because we don't need her to say this. There we go. Let's get rid of some of that. Okay. Okay. The reason I'm keeping this in. I love George. He was a doll. Oh, he was a doll. He was a doll. Oh no, that's crazy. To make sure that Zena's suggesting that they have a real closeness because she needs but we just work together on cases. So I love George. He was a doll. It's just so faux intimate. There we go. Okay, now we are definitely... Xena talks like Xena, which is good. People asked, how do you make a character talk like they do? Madeline, much more formal and rational. Xena, much more all over the place and emotional. You think this killer did it? The one George was talking about it. It's hunting in his podcast. I do 100%. I think he was afraid of George. Yeah, the decision about the montage is definitely not the writer's. I mean, the writer can say you should do a montage to this song, but generally, when you mention a song in a script, it's just for emotional reference. You're not actually going to get the song you want most of the time. I mean, it depends. You know, big name people who already have their music budget built into their movies, sure, they can say, I'm going to use this or that song. But realistically, when you refer to a song, it's to establish a mental image in the mind of the reader of what it would be like. Rocky, Ghostbusters, Karate Kid, sure, those are all excellent. And Team America. I have never seen Team America, but I imagine it's got a great montage. I think he was afraid George was going to get him. And we need to pick up where George left off. That's why. George was going to get him. Yeah, actually just George was going to get him, because otherwise, I think he was afraid George was going to get him. That's why we need to pick it up. It's just like, we need to get ourselves killed. I do 100%. George was going to get him. That's why we need to pick up where he left off. Have the police found anything? The evidence? The evidence. No. She says she knows that they haven't. No. All right, this, while funny, is probably a waste of time. Did you have to identify the body? I mean, this is a really funny bit, but we are trying to cut. See, I really like this scene, but it is running long. I love Georgie was it all, but we just worked together on cases, and now he's a case. It would be like so cool if it wasn't so awful. You think this killer did it? The one George was hunting in his hunting? I do, 100%. And George was going to get him. That's all we need to pick up where he left off. So what I'm going to do is mark this as expendable because this is good dialogue, but it kind of repeats the bit where she explains how she found her. Just another bit of like very sleuthy wannabe cop stuff. And Madeline is going to say this like 50 times. So no. Do you know where it is? Do you know where it is? Hate to cut this, but I should. Kill your darlings. I'm going to still think about that while I look at the chat. Yeah, you could say soft play jazz music. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. It is good advice. Absolutely. Boom, boom, boom. Who's doing crime scene? Is there anyone there? Is there anything I can do to help? I could be there tomorrow. Does she like work or school? I like that. It's implying that she is young. No. I'm an influencer. I can tell you all about it. No, thank you. That's very kind. But no. I want to. I mean, I'm sorry, thank you. I may not even be here. Oh, that's good. That's good, but the truth is... All right, see, the thing is, right now, the evidence thing is sort of obvious. Have the police found the evidence? Found anything? The evidence? No. Do you know where it is? I wish. influencer. I mean, I used to be. I can tell you about it. I can tell you all about it when I see you. No, thank you. See. Okay, cutting. That's good. Do you know where it is? Just trying to see if there's any way to get less obvious. He was a doll, but we just worked together on cases. Now he's a case. It would be like so cool if it wasn't so awful. I like this line, even though it's just so transparent. But I think that it's okay. I think she's good being a little obvious. It's distracting, actually, how obviously dithery she is. She's actually a lot smarter than that underneath. It's sort of important that she asks this thing about the evidence. No, do you know where it is? She poor thing. Are you all alone? I could be there tomorrow. I wish, you poor thing. Who's doing crimes? Yeah, let's just cut this. Are you all alone? That's better. Okay, you poor thing. Who's doing crime scene cleanup? Are you? They're all alone? Are you all alone? I can be there tomorrow. Good. That's at least a little cut there. Okay, and okay. Hold on. This happens sometimes with the software. See this whole half a page. I'm gonna quit out of this and then reopen it. Sometimes the page breaks. The auto page breaker. See, now it's gone. And we're down to 73 pages. Okay. I was an influencer. I used to be an influencer. I used to be an influencer. I can tell you all about it when I see it. No. I'm an influencer. I mean, used to be. Well, for the moment, I'm going to leave that. At least I got this a little better. Yeah, that's a little better. I think that's better. Let me see if I can do anything here. That's better. Just a little few less words so that we get the picture. Bric-a-brac, which apparently is spelled correctly. Okay. Let's cut out that line. That's better. I am aiming for 60 pages because it's an hour-long show in theory. This is the pilot for an hour-long drama comedy thing. And so 60 pages, 1 page per minute is the industry standard way to estimate. Yes, we're down to 73. Well, yeah, in that case, that's right. First of all, okay, that was somebody writing a script for a studio. And he was already an established writer. And so I think, however, it is entirely possible. I don't know the backstory, but Sea of Love is a pretty obscure song, and it's not a great one, either as a song or as a title, which they used. So my guess is that there was a different song originally, and they actually couldn't get whatever song it was, and they chose Sea of Love. But I don't know. Anyway. But the answer would be, I am sure that they were willing. That was a big studio film with Al Pacino. I am sure that they were willing to pay for the rights. Okay. Okay, well, this scene has gotten better. It's cleaner. But it is, I think it's time to move on from it for now. Which brings us to the scene I thought I was going to do today, which I will start next week because it's too late to start it now. And this is one. Actually, we should catch the outline up because I have not looked at the outline. All right. Boom. Okay, let's get rid of all of this stuff because we've done it. We have gotten it done. There. So what I'm doing now is going through the outline, and all the changes that I've already made, I am deleting so that when I look back, I'll be like, oh, this as a things to do list, I want to check it off, but I'm not checking it off by like strike through because I don't need to. There we go. These are things maybe we'll keep on the list of things to do. There we go. All right. And then we can take my so far so good marker, which I like to keep. And then Xena calls back. Okay. Okay. So now the outline is caught up to where we are. And I was just making sure that there wasn't something there we go. Yeah, in theory, if I thought I was trying to sell it to commercial TV, that would probably be down more about the 50, 55 pages. I mean, honestly, a commercial, yeah, I mean, a network show with commercials only runs like 45 minutes out of it's a lot of commercials. So therefore, if you're working for one of those shows, they will tell you their favorite page count. I'm not worried about it because I'm not doing that. I'm not selling this. I'm not. This is just for you guys to watch, so I'm not being overly worried or thoughtful about stuff like that. Okay, always wonder about Blue Velvet. Well, these were all back in a day when the hyper craziness about music rights wasn't as bad, and they had studios behind them, so they did. Yes, with Blue Velvet, there's no question that they had the rights. Just out of curiosity, in all the projects that you worked, do you know what the most expensive song? Yeah, actually, in the things that I've worked on, no expensive songs at all, because the one thing where I ever did describe a song that got made was my Showtime movie Off Season, and I specifically mentioned a song, "I Get Along Without You Very Well," which they didn't get the rights to. They got one that sounds like it. It's not a bad song, but it's not the one that I chose because the one I had was too expensive. So there you go. In general, let's just get rid of this. In general, music rights, just don't make yourself dependent. Like in Sea of Love, the clues of the murder mystery were involved partly with a song. Don't do that unless you're making up the song by yourself, because that means that those music rights become integral to the ability to get the thing made, and you don't want to do that. Or Blue Velvet. In theory, you could have used a different song, but in general, keep in mind that things cost money, rain costs money, night shooting costs money. And in general, I would just say, try not to do things that cost a lot of money, but it's not a big deal. You shouldn't be worrying too much about this. I should just say that in general, it's a sign of a relatively amateur writer to over rely on songs. You're not directing it, and your songs should not be that big part of the script. Yes, great. Barry is great. Barry is amazing. Barry is fascinating. I cannot wait for the new season, which has started. And cool. Well, everybody, I hope you have yourselves a fabulous weekend. I will not be here Monday. I got stuff to do, but I'll see you Tuesday. So that's it. Go write something.